Why, hello there. Another Sunday, another live stream. After 3 weeks of being sick. And with that 3 weeks of not wanting to live stream. But I did use the time I had on my hand. So here's for our quick review of the last 3 weeks and what we achieved. The first and the most glaring one probably being, I think I said that before, that we needed a new voice for Louise because Maple couldn't make it due to time constraints with the role. And that's the new voice right here.
Quelle heure il est? Pourquoi est-ce que je tremble? Bon.
Little example here. I'm very happy to have found a new person who is great to work with. So I'm really eager to see how that will be going in the future. The other thing I've been doing is, I think we also had that in the last stream that I started to overhaul the user interface. And this has gone pretty good so far. So the little overlay in the bottom right is different now. Yeah, we've got subtitles. The subtitles we had last time as well, they didn't change. I can show you, yeah, that's the new quest or dialogue menu. You can just pick up a quest real quick. Then we can also see the top left. We got a new quest thing. And yeah, what shall we start with? Let's just start with number 1, the profile widget. If you were in earlier development streams or videos, you could see this was just basically bars here in the right side. Now we have these cool radial bars and basically a fitness tracking app that keeps track of our condition, like in health, stamina, and the survival mechanics. It also has, but it's just implemented on the jog animation so far, a working step counter. And also, let's just run a little. Triggers with 10 meters, no, 100 meters of distance, a distance traveled, yeah, stat. The days streak is basically just counting the in-game days you're active. It's not yet implemented because the day-night cycle is broken due to me throwing out the settings that I had for ultra dynamic sky, so I have to re-implement that, but wasn't so important for now. Here you can see the eating and drinking bar goes down pretty quick. That is to be tweaked, and the steps taken are a little bit low for 100 meters, but that's of course because, as I said, the step counter is basically just on every footstep you can hear. There's a enum notify that just increases a counter, and it's just on the jogging animation for now. Okay. Yeah, it also does have an essential equipment tab, which is kind of filler because this screen looks terrible if it's stretched any wider, so just put that here. This doesn't actually do anything, it's just for decoration. The next thing is the inventory. It's still just a basic inventory, but looks a little bit more in line. just show you real quick what it looks like with the crafter. That's with the crafter. You can just press the brew button here and get something crafted. As before, just looking a little bit different. Then we got the journal. It's also the same as before, just less plain. Yeah, what I still need to do is make some logic here where if I just have to do one of a thing, there's no 0 out of 1, but it's just there. Maybe we can get to that today because detail UI was on the menu today. We also do have this map with it's gonna stay pretty simple. So the map basically just there will be a real painted map, not just this scene capture map, but the functionality of the map will be just our player character, Fog of War, that is revealed wherever we run along. And we can also put markers with custom text wherever we want. So this game is not gonna have any quest markers that will be set for you, but you have to set everything yourself. Maybe I haven't decided on that yet. Maybe I do card marker stuff from NPCs or something like that. But currently it's just this basic map with Fog of War and custom markers that get saved. So you can take your own notes what is going where. Yeah, then the almanac, I have not yet implemented that. That's gonna be the next 2 weeks, I guess, maybe 1 if I'm quick. It will just in alphabetic order list everything that you have learned about with information on the right hand side. And what I intend to do is this photo mode that I started working on last week, and that is kind of functional right now, does have this investigate button, so I can basically photograph stuff. The photography component does have a trace, so I can concentrate on one thing that I'm photographing, and the name of the thing will be saved, and you can either ask NPCs about it if you're in dialogue, and then you can maybe, if the NPC knows something about it, learn about it. And if you already know a thing, you can just click here and get transported back to the almanac and get information about it. So that's the plan. So basically, you don't scan stuff as it's done in Subnautica, or basically encounter something, and then there's already some lore for you to read. You have to instead take a photo, learn about it, and then you get more information on the subject. And I also have those editable text boxes on here as well. So basically, so you can take your own notes about the subject if you so wish. Yeah, the photo mode, so far it's pretty basic. What it does is I'm saying go camera, which will make me really slow and put me in first person. I then click. It does nothing as of now in terms of feedback, but then I have this photo here in my gallery that I can open up and have a look at. And what I've done today so far is let's take some more photos. Like the going through the gallery, it's a little buggy, obviously. I don't know why this is not working. Okay, it's basically the same photo, so that's why it's not working. I double clicked here. Okay, so it's working, it's not buggy. What I can do as well so far is press next or last, and it does loop around if it's at the end. But what it does not do is when I'm pressing next or previous, that the marker of which image is currently selected, it doesn't change when pressing one of those. This here is not yet implemented because it requires, of course, the almanac component. We don't have that yet, so this is for later. And what else is working currently is just deleting the pictures again, and I don't know why we lost the... this is a debug... debugging texture for when there's nothing to be shown right here, and I don't actually know why we just lost that. So let me take a few more pictures and... I see, because because it hasn't been selected manually. There's still some selection bugginess going on here. And that's what we're gonna do today, and then we're gonna see, maybe I can show that real quick if I didn't close it back up. I think I did. Let me just open this up real quick in draw.io. So this is the first puzzle we did implement so far up until here. So we can unlock our room door. Those two need to be hidden for later in the room. And this is basically the rest of the dorm section, which is one, a talk to roommate dialogue puzzle to teach us about dialogue, because in the main game as well as in the demo there will not have been dialogue up to this point, and crafters are also a new thing after this section. So I don't think I actually showed that before. So the demo does have, as I said before, a different story than the main game, but the demo itself will be implemented into the main story as a flashback, which allows me to tutorialize a bunch of stuff that will be relevant right after the first, let's call it, survival section of the main game. And we'll learn dialogue, crafters, and later on some like in-world puzzles. Yeah, so if we get it done really fast with the UI, we are gonna start to work on the crafter puzzles. But we'll see how that goes. I think let's just do real quick. Let's see how quick this is gonna be. Yes, another thing I might want to show for the map, which I think is really cool. We do have our map marker here, and if we click it, we can get this context menu where we can either hide the text. So basically, if we have some very close together and the text is intersecting and it looks stupid, we can just hide or unhide the text, and we can also choose a bunch of different marker colors here. Yeah. Nothing huge, but I think this menu looks really cool. Kinda sorta proud of that, because it's the first time I'm actually designing UI. And for that I think it's turning out pretty well. So, journal. Let's see. Actually, it has been some time. It's probably more than a year ago that I designed this quest system. So let me see real quick. Yeah, it's just the stuff in here where we have to change. And objective. And I think this is populating dynamically. Yeah, it's adding children here of quest log objective entry. So this quest log is based on the quest system by Ryan Laley, as is the inventory, just with a bunch of stuff added. So credit where credit is due. And now let's see. Yeah, current / quantity. I think the easiest way to go here. Yeah, I'd say if quantity is less equal 1, and we're just gonna go into a select here. So if this is false, we're gonna show this. And if not, we're just gonna show the objective name. I think that might actually have been it then. It has not, okay. Yeah, because I'm stupid, it should of course be the other way around. Yeah, perfect. So the select node kind of fucks me up because false is on the top and true is on the bottom, and in my brain this needs to be the other way around. True needs to be on top because true is on the top, right on the branch, the most commonly used node in Unreal Engine blueprints, and here it's on the top. And I've used so many select nodes, but in my brain this is simply still wrong. Change that, Epic. God damn it. Yeah, okay, but we're not here to rant. We are here to get stuff done. So, gallery. So the gallery itself does work relatively similarly to the inventory. It's just a grid, a scroll box with a uniform grid panel in it. Basically, not basically, it's exactly the same thing as the inventory with slots in it. It just does have a bunch of different functionality. because I don't need to drag stuff around, I also don't drag stuff around in the gallery itself. All the functionality from that is gone. Basically, everything we are doing is just adding in new photos once they are taken. And when an image is selected, the file path is then sent on to the gallery widget itself, and it's then loaded as a texture and the brush is set from that. This is made so that the images themselves are just written to disk. They are not stored in the game itself, just to preserve memory. And loading such small images, so the render target for the actual photo is just that big, and the thumbnail even smaller, it's just that big. Those are getting loaded really, really fast, and I don't have to keep them in memory. Now I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, so we also need the photo mode component. Yeah, so this is how it works real quick. It's basically, I do have a scene capture component added to the normal first person camera. This will later be its own camera because nobody is taking pictures from their eyes, right? And once I trigger the photo mode, I'm just gonna capture the scene. It's not capturing on frame because why would it? Then I'm making my file paths, saving the stuff. Then I shrink down the render target to the render target for the thumbnail. And this is basically just for the integration with the almanac. I'm making a photo data struct here which contains the file path, the object that I wanted to photograph, and a Unix timestamp in case I need it. It's added to this array, and the array is basically our inventory of photos that we are working with. But alas, the first thing we are doing is actually making those buttons here pretty. We are doing that in the same way the apps are set up on the tablet home screen. Just need to have a look at the hierarchy here. Size box button, an overlay, with the image and the actual button to be pressed. Yeah, okay. A little bit of busy work here, and I'm somewhat triggered that these are not in the correct order in here. Okay. Then we need an image widget, also in here, but down here. And underneath, we need another button. This button will actually do nothing No padding, please. Yeah, this part of the button style padding is really annoying to me, because usually all the padding is up here and this particular padding is way down there. Okay, so this is gonna get a gradient. The standard gradient, no tint. And image. This is gonna have another gradient, of course without a tint. I hate it that you can't just put one here. And this will get a tint. Of just a little bit darker. Of course, we want them all just to be an image, not a rounded box. All right. Then this image here. What was this stupid material called? Masked icon. Yeah, and some of these icons, they are from gameicons.net, I think is the website. Yeah, game-icons.net. Guess everybody is using them for prototyping, as am I. And I was too much of a wet towel to realize they can come with transparent background, and so I have some of the icons with black background and some without, and I made this material with an opacity mask for the black ones. Yeah, here we go. This is gonna be the image. Of this particular tint. And here we are getting our button mask. this does look terrible. I guess I'll never learn. Let's see how this does look in practice. Yeah, no. Maybe. No. Okay. Just need one that doesn't have that deep of a cut. Let's just go with the slot one. This does look better. And since they are square, I can just use the image because there's no asymmetrical scaling. Okay. Here we're gonna go hovered thin. And here we're gonna go pressed thin. Which should look fine now. It doesn't though. Why is that? Do I need to put 64 here? Maybe. I'd go so far as to say that does not change anything. Yeah, well, whatever. Maybe I do have to add a bit of slot padding here. Let's just say like 2. Yeah, now it's working. I find the uniform grid panel sometimes is a little bit strange with paddings, but whatever. As long as it's working, I'm happy. Alright. Now I really just kinda don't wanna redo that. Kinda have to, I guess. Or just disconnect those buttons real quick. I think I didn't get them anywhere. No, I didn't get them anywhere. So I should be able to just delete them. And then I can just paste those back in. Yeah, work somewhat smart and not hard at all. Okay, I had the thought bubble here for the research button. The last button. This is going to be the next button. And of course the delete button. Must admit I hate how these icons are all center aligned and this one is not. Terrible. Alright, the research button should not be doing anything right now, but the previous button should. So, previous. Next. And delete. Alright, so I'm saving often here because I had to swap out the cooling unit of my PC, and since I've done that, it just randomly turns off without warning, so I'm saving really often. And I kinda don't know why it does that, so it has had the problem on and off basically since I got this PC some 7 or 8 years ago. But now it's pretty egregious and it might actually turn off while I'm streaming. I hope it won't though. Alright, so what we want to do next is taking a photo, taking 2 photos. Yeah, you can see the selected photo does keep a blue, whatever I want to call this, rim, while the non-selected one turns gray. And we actually want to have this so when I'm pressing the next button, that the selected banderole, whatever you'd call it, will be will also be updated so that it is reflected on which photo I currently am. And let's just see how to best do that, because I don't have a reference to whichever button I have clicked on the main widget. So I have the grid have to handle the marking. So I guess on pressed for the gallery slot, I am passing a last used slot to the grid, and I assume the bug with deleting pictures from another index than the shown one is because I'm not updating the last used slot on the grid when I'm using the previous and next buttons. So I actually need to ping the grid in order to do that. So let's add a custom event. Let's say update selected slot. So what I have here, I mean, I do have the grid. That means I can directly access the last used slot variable. However, I have no way of updating that reference Okay, I was hoping I would get around making an array here, but looks like I do have to. Because with an array, so for each image there will be a slot made. So I can safely assume that the active slots index will always be the same as the image data index. So why? whatever. Yeah, in this case, I can just update the last used slot with the current index. So I can just say is valid index then get a copy, add index, and that set the variable. And I think we can just say this is on clicked. Say this has been selected. I'm pretty sure I missed something here, but let's just see what happens. Not what I'm wanting to happen, because I think I'm obviously not updating. And same here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, kinda. I just have to unselect the first one. Yeah, which is just the same logic that I had here. So I have to drag that out. Update my slot. and then set the new variable and select the new one. This should work, I hope. Alright, and if I'm deleting that... Huh. Perfect. So the widget is, in that case, actually working. I do admit, I imagine that should have been harder than it actually was, but it wasn't. So probably something is gonna go horribly wrong now. So we do need another camera. So what field of view does a regular phone camera have? I think it's not 90. Yeah, it's more like 70. Blah blah blah, focal length. So I'm googling on the right screen here. Don't know anything about focal length and all that, but one entry says 50 to 70 degrees, so that's what we shall do. The difficulty in that being... Yeah, I do need an extra photo mode tag. If I only could remember. Here. Did save all the gameplay tags in those data tables. Okay, gallery, slot and grid should be done. We're all about the camera now. Then I just do need a new row. And the tag should be movement dot photo mode. Okay, so since my movement doesn't know what to do with photo mode, let's just plug in the debugging. I think it should just either put out walking or none on the state. Yeah, just putting out walking, which is fine for now. I just have to implement logic later on, where if my movement changes, the photo mode is aborted. Yeah, I need to at first, the most important thing is the switching does happen in the player controller, and theoretically it should put me into the mapping context. Let's see if it does actually switch. It should. But I'm not switching back my movement speed. Don't know why I took that. I actually have to delete those photos, because if I don't, they'll accumulate in the saved folder. Yeah, it does work. I'm just staying slow, so I have to reset to sprint speed. Which shall be easily done from here. It's actually bogus. I can do that from within the component. Don't have to go via player controller. Had been of the opinion that there's a default walk speed on the player character. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Interesting. But I am pretty certain, let's just measure that, my standard walk speed should be 500, yeah. Then we'll just hard code it, I don't care. Make that a little bit more pretty. Right. Okay, so we do have to add another camera. I think I may just duplicate that. Say this is the photo boom. Then we make a photo camera. Okay, this is gonna get a POV perspective of 70, as does the scene cap. Okay, and now we have two. This should be okay. Yeah, I think because this is this set on construction script? I don't know. But the parent class doesn't actually have the correct bone. Yeah, so it is set dynamically. I can't reuse the transforms. But that's not a problem. We'll just go like roughly eye level around here, and the cam itself can just be zeroed. Okay. So in the player character, need to have logic here in order to toggle the camera mode back. Photo mode false. This can actually stay the same. So this is like first person, but just with a different camera. So I could basically go with an enum switch here. Yeah, I think we can actually just go with another bool here. And say we are going to go into photo mode. So this is true. Easier. Just set that one. course, with the player controller due to how the snowboard is set up. I don't have this camera. Oh, man. I don't know how to easily resolve that without casting. Let's say just redo it on the parent class. Now I have Louise here, the scene cap here, and it can go to the photo camera. And let's see. I think the camera is set on Louise directly. It is not. But we can just change it, right? Yeah. Alright, now I should be able to just say activate the photo camera. And everything else should stay the same. Yeah, but the no, I should be able to get an is active here for this, shouldn't I? Yeah. And the depending on that. Is it active? Yes, then make it not active. Then we'll assume it's the photo camera that's active. So let's see if we do get the photo camera. Doesn't look like it, does it? I'd like to have a breakpoint here, please. Yeah, so condition true, I'm in photo mode. Was in first person. Now this should get toggled. Condition true, first person, yeah. Yes. So, okay, looks like this is still being activated, even though it shouldn't be. Okay. Yes, this is on gameplay begin. I think it did work. Let's just put this camera away here to make sure. Okay, it did not work. God damn it. Gotta love Unreal Engine sometimes for how not buggy the blueprint editor is. So it does get both. Photo mode is false. So I should be returning the head camera. Yes. in photo mode is true, so I should be calling the photo camera. Why? Okay. So since you don't want to give me debug data for the breakpoint, just do it like this. Okay, it does trigger the photo camera. It's not constrained to a socket, so why? Yeah, because I'm not deactivating the head camera, of course. Which I can do though. Right here. Okay, now theoretically, it's working, but it feels terrible. Which is probably not as much of a problem when we're around here, so. Okay, so why is this camera so nauseating? Wild. Yeah, so the photography seems to work. But it's kinda wild. I don't know. Yeah, I think that is probably the reason. Camera rotation lag, let's see. Yeah, alright, that is working. I think I do actually want to be a little bit of rotation lag. But it needs to be like much faster. Yeah, that's pretty direct. But it does a little bit feel more like feel a little bit more like holding it in your hands. What we do need is now actually exit the photo mode on toggling the tablet. Which we can achieve right here. By just seeing if we're in photo mode. If not, just do the regular stuff. If so, no, we can not actually do that because I don't have a reference at the parent class to the photo mode. So let's see, exit photo mode is called when? Oh, this is called, okay. Yeah, of course. I can also deactivate the photo camera right away from here. And on that one, let's just call this photo capture so we don't get confused. Just deactivate that. Let's see what happens now. Strange stuff. Okay. I do have a notion though that this is the correct way to go. This function does always return false. Where the hell do I actually call it, I think? It's called on the tablet base. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I basically need to see if when the tablet is toggled, I'm actually stupid. There is a blueprint interface that I can use. So I can actually just call that and what this does should be toggle camera mode, whatever was the camera mode before we left. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going back to first person. Yeah, it works. Let's see if it also works in third person. Yes. All right. I think this is then our photo mode basically working. The only thing I have to do, or rather want to do, is the capture photo function does do a line trace on capturing the photo, but up until you have taken the photo and asked someone about it, you don't actually know if you specifically photographed something of interest. So What I want to do is in the player controller, there are both the combat trace and the interaction trace. Interaction trace is basically the trace that is running all the time along the x-axis of the camera vector to basically look at everything that is interactable. And the enemy trace kinda works the same, just a little bit different. So that's why there are two relatively similar functions. I can basically just make a third one for the camera mode that does all the switching of outline highlights and all that. So you can basically, the interaction trace will stop running because it's still running in photo mode, because well, you can just demonstrate it. That's what the interaction trace does. It sees this cauldron and so I can interact with it, and if I'm going to photo mode now, there will still be this interaction trace. So I want to cap that. And also only show stuff that I can photograph for the almanac, which will probably also be the cauldron, but yeah, then also need to see. So basically the cauldron would, for example, be one of those things you can photograph, which you don't know about at first, but I mean, it's a cauldron, it's obvious what it is. I don't need to make fuss about 3 question marks until I spoke to anyone what a cauldron is, right? So yeah, this is one of those things I need to see, nothing to basically implement or wing to implement here. Yeah, I'll probably do that off screen. Basically not in the mood right now for that. We didn't get to decorate anything. I can show you though. Basically as a little little treat for at the end, I did go about decorating Louise's room a little bit. Not entirely, but a little bit. Got some clutter all around here. Some pictures. I'm especially fond of this picture, so need it as a painting here. Got my little France table with a croissant, wine and cigarettes. Yeah, and some more clutter and a little bit of advertisement for myself. I think I haven't shown this publicly yet, but I think this is by far my finest work in GIMP. Yeah, so let's just do the first puzzle real quick. Should know it, should be able to do it while asleep by now. Combine the stuff. Feed it to Gautier. Get the key. Open the wardrobe. Wrong door. Here we go. Yeah, I haven't fixed that yet, but this opens the door. We can go out. As you can see, all the doors are now wrong because of how I set up Louise's door. Yeah, that's that so far. So what I'm hoping to get done next week, as I said in the beginning, is the almanac or glossary of the tablet, and finish off the gallery with the trace, and terminating the photo mode whenever something happens, like, I don't know, fall down a cliff or something, or we have to run away. But that should be easily done. So I think I'll get the glossary done, and then we can actually decorate some more. Though I'd rather set up the entirety of the like dorm portion before the maintenance portion, where nothing is so far. So we have like 2 or 3 minutes of gameplay actually to show off. I intend to make a Blue Sky account, and maybe reactivate my Instagram account to share some snippets of progress, because as it is now, I'm just having these live streams that go on for a long time, and they are not really a great resource to see like the results of progress. So I'm posting some snippets here. It's also easier for me to just show them off instead of every 3 weeks a mammoth of a live stream. So as for that, I'll post the links probably in the next live stream, and there you can see some, like, I'll do some highlights of the development process, like some really old stuff, what has been done and what not, how does it work, but little overviews and stuff like that. So if you're into that, feel free to then, when I have them available, click the links, yada yada.